1996, me and my family went to Bangladesh, and I was about 7 years old. Me and my sister and my dad, we were driving to my cousin's house through a really busy road, and it's a 4x4. What happened at the time was a very busy time, that particular sort of evening time, and as we were driving, like really unexpectedly, someone just like ran in front of the car. Like he actually, the car hit into him because he ran in front of it. Had got injured really badly, and that provoked the people around that area. Me and my cousin were really scared at this minute. Like, we've never experienced anything like this before, where we're in the car, people are just surrounding it, trying to get hold of the driver, and there was my dad who was trying to protect him. At that minute when everybody was trying to get hold of the driver, my dad had to try and protect him, because obviously to go and see what had happened to the person. When the driver had also come out to see and to try and help the person, they found that the person was really like badly injured, like he was like bleeding and everything, and then there was just me and my cousin at the back, and they'd locked us in, but the car was like being shaken like both ways, and in order to get him back into the car, obviously my dad needed the help of the driver, but the people around us tried to attack him. And so in order for my dad to protect him, my dad had also got slightly injured in the process. The bit that kind of like shook me and my cousin most was more the fact that the person who'd been injured had to be brought into the car in order for us to take him to the hospital. It was a very frightening experience, something that at the time for me, from coming from the UK, going over to a country where I wasn't so familiar with, I mean, it was quite a new experience, it was quite a shock. Just something that you don't expect to happen normal every day.
How did the driver come out of harm's way? Did they try to break the door? Did they start shaking the car?
They shook the door. The people who were like obviously quite shocked, and to them it was like in a way, I suppose, you've harmed somebody and justice has to be done, and so they took it upon themselves to try and, like, you know, obviously the person who's injured now, that can't really, you can't really do much about that person, now that he's, quite badly injured. He had to be taken to the hospital and to be taken care of there, but whatever had been done is something that the people of that area tried to take into their own hands and try and resolve it, but obviously it wasn't in the best of ways.
Sure. What did they actually do, the people that were trying to get hold of the driver?
They were just very aggressive. What they tried to do, what it seemed like at the time, was they tried to, like, obviously take his life as well. And this is where my dad stepped in, where he tried to try and protect the driver.
How many people were there outside the car trying to get hold of him?
It was so packed. It was like it was dark and through quite a busy road. So it was really, it's like, it was surrounded. The car was surrounded. You really couldn't make out, and you really don't want to look too far out into the, outside of the car, because the car was like, it's like there were people pushing into the car. They were trying to, like, almost as if like they were trying to break it in.
Topple it over?
Yeah. They were trying to topple it over to try and, like, yeah, I mean, that upset them that much to try and do something like that. Obviously they don't understand other people in the car.
Okay, what happened to the guy who got knocked over?
He in fact, that very night, we found out, through contacts, we found out who he was and his family, relatives and everything. So we took him to the hospital, we informed them as soon as possible. Everything was taken care of, like medical care and everything, but because he was injured quite a bad way, like obviously it was like a car that was driving at a particular speed. It was a road that you can actually drive at that speed, but obviously he maybe felt like he could actually cross it when it wasn't possible, and the harshness of the collision obviously meant that he had been injured really badly.